Hello, everybody. I'm just making sure everybody is joining. Everybody that's there, cool. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Welcome. This is so crazy how quickly time is going. We're in week 9. It's week 9. Can you believe it? This is really just absolutely flying by. So I'm very keen to hear this week, what category have you chosen? And I want to know why. Why did you choose what category you are in this week? Because it's really important that whatever your goal was for this, for this challenge, have you made it there? Have you do you know that you're still on track for it? Do you know that everything can't happen immediately as well? So many of you already know that it's a journey. It's a journey. And the more consistent we are, the more our bodies respond. But spring is also just a season, and so is summer, and so is autumn, and these are all just seasons. So we've got to really fine tune what real season worked the best for our bodies, because every season is different. Every season is different. So yes, I'm really interested to hear how your week has been, what category you're in, why are you there, and are you on track for your goals? Have you hit your goals? Where are you heading towards? So let's start with Ange. Ange, how are you doing this week?
Hey Kerry, hey everyone. Good, really good. I think last week was a big sort of turning week for me. Just feeling good, and I think I always say to myself, I was actually saying to my daughter, I don't feel sort of tight anymore. That feeling of like, I don't know, when you in your clothes and doing things, your body sort of feels full and tight. So that's gone. So I think I want to stay in definitely in spring for as long as I can. I definitely want to continue to lose more weight. That hasn't been as, I think my first time I did it, that was like a real thing for me, but I'm trying to be a little more sort of, looking at the whole picture as well. But I'm feeling really healthy, feeling good. So I just want to carry on feeling that for now. So I'm definitely not at the end for myself. I am looking forward to, and I'm going to have to obviously do it carefully. I'm very excited to get fruit back. I do miss it a lot. And I think, from the last time, I know autumn is a good season for me. But I think that's when I've done a little bit more. And then it kind of keeps me sort of where I need to be, bring the fruit back. So I think now I'm just going to focus this week. I'm not sure about next week, but carry on as long as I can in
Yeah,
spring.
perfect. And this is the whole thing. It's one day at a time, one week at a time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really not a sprint. We are not yet to sprint to the end of where we want to get to. Life is a journey. And we've got to just really embrace that, our bodies are on this journey. Health should be something that we are focused on consistently forever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just like it's never going to end. If we want a good quality of life, we really have to be aware and conscious of all the noise around us, as well as the decisions and choices that we're making for ourselves. So we're
Yeah.
on this journey. We're on this journey. We're not sprinting
Absolutely.
anywhere. What's working for you? Yeah. I love the way you described your clothes and being tight. Um,
Yeah, it does. You sit down and you feel like tight. You want
yeah,
to, I don't know, and that's when you know that you haven't, like you always say, we do eat too much food. And I think
yeah,
now it's the smaller quantities and you're almost enjoying it more.
yeah.
Um, so that's what I kind of want to just keep focused on for the next couple of weeks, is that
Awesome.
same feeling and focus. But I think that's exactly what Wildfit does. It makes you appreciate the whole. It's not just, these 90 days, and you do want to achieve a lot in them, but it's not the end.
Yeah,
So I think that's where I've got to keep focused. Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. And are you releasing, can you feel it? Because I hope you're not standing
Definitely.
on the scale every day.
No, I don't like the scale. I even told Ali the day I definitely bought a dud. Besides, I'm pretending that it's not working. You know, I'm being very good. I did in the beginning, and now I've actually put it away, and it's how I'm feeling and sort of putting on my clothes, and I'm definitely releasing. And I think it
Good,
started,
good.
you know, I can almost feel like this week I'm hoping it's
Yeah,
going to be the week. But
awesome.
last week definitely I turned a corner, and I'm still sleeping well and
Yeah.
not waking up, and
Yeah.
so it's good.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
so awesome. Good. That's really, really good to hear. I was doing some house sitting over the weekend. My really good friends went away for the weekend, and they've got two beautiful cats that really need attention. They love attention. So I stayed at their place over the weekend, and I was so upset because the scale is in the bathroom. And I said to them, don't leave the scale in the bathroom. If you leave the scale in the bathroom, you're going to stand on the scale every day. I said, what is your scale doing in your bathroom? It should not be there. You know, I was very, very cool with all their stuff in the fridge and the cupboard. So I'm going, like, you guys are really on board and everything is working well. So yes, they're like, oh, I don't know if we can ask Kerry again. But the big thing was when we stand on that scale on a regular basis, and honestly, the scale was there in the bathroom. So what did I do for 2 days? I stood on the scale. I stood on the scale and I said, no, that's actually so ridiculous because on both days, yes, there's a slight difference. Our bodies change consistently, actually. They're never going to stay the same, and they shouldn't be staying the same. And so we eat something, we weigh something different. We go to the toilet, we weigh something different. You know, and what happens when people are standing on that scale on a regular basis, every time they see the number, they clamp up. And we don't want any stress around at all. We don't want any stress. So that's why I'm so pleased. You just feel into your body. Don't stand on that scale. Throw that scale away. Throw it away. We don't need a scale when we're after our health. When we're after our health, we're going to feel good. We're going to feel our whole body. We do not want the scale to tell us any of that. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, Ange. Brilliant, brilliant check-in. Well done. Well done. Cool.
Thank you.
Ellie, how are you doing? Good to see you here, Ellie.
I'm good, thanks, Kerry. I've got to leave in like 5 minutes, but I thought I'd just show my face, and then I'll put you on my speakerphone. Yeah, no, I'm really good as well. Really, really good. And I'm definitely losing weight. It's nice to get into the jeans that didn't fit, which is really good. Yeah, I think I'm definitely in category 2. I think, and Ange and I were talking this weekend. Actually, I think what she's just said. I want to focus on, yes, we're in week 9, but actually, you know, you can get a bit caught up in, oh, it's then 12 weeks and it's done, you know. Well, it's not done because it's just beginning, really. Sure. So we were just chatting about ways we could support each other in keeping on with it, you know, and keeping the focus on it. But the feeling is amazing, honestly. I've lots of energy. My skin is better. To me, the difference from last time, the one change I've made is I'm having an obscene amount of Alka-Geyser. Literally, it's just green everywhere. But it's actually amazing because the minute you sip it, you just know it's good, you know. So it's making me feel quite positive, really, which is lovely. And then spring is coming and all that, so it just feels really lovely. It feels light and happy. So
yeah,
so it's all good. Yeah,
you guys are doing it at the best time because you're going into your summer, and so when you're going into your summer doing Wildfit, it's just like, oh wow, this is like the body feels amazing, the energy is coming there. So yeah, it's perfect.
You don't have to hide your body anymore under scarves and jumpers.
Be confident. Exactly. Be confident.
Yeah.
Lovely, Ellie. I'm so
thank you, and thanks for letting me join. I'm gonna keep you on, but I'll have to leave in a bit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye,
Awesome.
everybody.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. Bye. Cool. Dibs, how are you doing this week?
Hi, Kerry. Hi, everybody. Good, Kerry. Good. I like what both sisters said about the scale, I haven't weighed myself through the whole journey, and I actually did this weekend. And first Wild Fit, I lost 13 kilos, and only in the last like 6 months of the 2 years, I put on the 2 to 3. And I said to myself, I'm not weighing myself until I can feel in my body that they're not there anymore. So I'm not going to get on the scale and be like, you did something that was difficult and you've undone it. And I was like, and after this week, I just felt very light. I could feel it in my clothes. I felt positive, and I was like, okay, let's just see where you are. You get on the scale once. Well, I always get on 3 times to make sure that the scale is telling the same story every time. Because sometimes you can get on and then the next time, 2 seconds later, you get on, it's different. So it was the same every time. And I've lost those 3 Ks, and I knew that they were gone. My week was good, but I did have some stomach issues that other people were talking about last week about the constipation. And I just decided I'm not going to put anything more in if nothing's coming out. So I just stopped. And for 2 days, I just did celery juice and water fast. And if I was a bit hungry, celery juice, it sounds strange but because you're putting something in, you just stop being hungry. So I just did celery juice, water. And by end of day 3, my tummy was back to being great. And then I just introduced very small meals. Also, again, saying we're eating too much, like just half portions, having a bit of, and then just feeling good, not feeling heavy, not feeling any of that. Intentional exercise. I got a Instagram from my sister to say, if you want to work on your belly, this is the one exercise you need to do 100 times a day. And it's literally weights, and I'll send it on the group. Weights, and you just move from one side to the other. And, that's for me. I went to go, Grant picked me up today, and he was like, your jeans last night, he said, were horrible. That's the word he used, horrible. Because we went out for St. Paddy's, and I was like, what do you mean? And he said, they're so baggy. Come on, Divs. So he picked me up impromptu, and he took me to the shops, and he bought me 3 pairs of jeans that fit. And he was just like, no. And I just realized I can't go a size down. I'm now wearing the skinny legs, and I can't go a size down because of my middle. So I need to do the exercises or whatever to help the belly come off. So yeah, otherwise good. Oh, I got to tell you something, Kerry. Weirdest thing happened last week while I was detoxing. I got just in random places about 6 blisters on my skin. Just blisters. One right here next to my tattoo. There's a little scab that's still healing there. Just a blister. And then I would pop it, and that little bit of liquid would come out, and then it would disappear. And then the next day there'd be a blister on my leg. So is that just rubbish coming out?
Absolutely. Blisters are normally viral. It's viruses that are coming out. And then if there's any like pimples or acne, that's normally bacterial. Okay. So it's all flushing from the inside out. And you remember, your skin is your biggest elimination organ. So if you really want to eliminate, you're either sweating stuff out, or and if there are toxins in you, it's going to show up. It's going to show up on your skin somewhere. Somewhere it's going to show up. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't pimples. It was like a blister. It was like very strange little thing.
Yeah. So blisters are viral. Any viruses that are now most viruses we actually can't get out, believe it or not. Most viruses come past us and kind of like hover around us, but they can be inactive. We can make viruses inactive in our body, which means we don't have any symptoms whatsoever. But then we get stressed, or we have a car accident, or we have a traumatic event, and it reactivates viruses within our bodies. So so that's when people get sick, with a virus. It's normally because their immune system is low, they're stressed, their system is not strong enough to handle it. But viral, I mean, we should all be able to totally survive viruses, because our bodies are meant to handle that. And they do, as I said, they do live around, but they become dormant or inactive. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kerry.
Interesting. So interesting. Our bodies are so fascinating. So fascinating. So Dibs, also remember the last place that we normally do release the weight is our belly. And that's really because the belly fat is the protection around the digestive organs. That's what it's doing. That belly fat is just protecting your digestive organs. When your digestive organs are working well and they have reduced in inflammation, that belly fat will go, okay, I'm no longer needed. I can be released. I can be released. So it is normally the last place to release the weight. But yeah, I mean, you're nearly there. So it should actually start coming off nicely now.
Thank you. And Kerry, just one last thing. I know that's a subject for another day because it's such a big subject, but I'm 53. So, the class of 88, we're all having a chat, and all the women are saying everybody's in menopause. And I've been in menopause for a long time, and they're all discussing all the tablets and the patches and everything they're on. And I'm not on anything. And I literally said to them, I said, my coach says if I eat clean and I drink water and whatever, I'm going to be okay. And I have very, very little symptoms, like a hot flush, but I don't get boiling, just a little bit warm, and then disappears. And that's only every few days, So, oh my goodness, it's my mother-in-law. So I think, that's something that, we might need to go into, because I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah. And you don't need to. It's not necessary at all. Not necessary at all. Yeah. So so I'm a year ahead of you. And same thing with the menopause. It's really, you don't need to suffer. And you don't need additional medication when you go through menopause. So I'm 100% on board with you. You don't need the mood swings. And you don't have to have those mood swings. And that's normally why they put you on medication, is because of the ups and downs of the hormones, which affect the moods. But yeah, I mean, thousands and thousands and millions of women have gone through menopause without medication. It's really, really not necessary. And those hot flushes, the cleaner you are, the less they are. I'm telling you now from personal experience, the cleaner you are, the less they are. And they're manageable. You can manage them, and then they pass. They really, really pass.
When I started Wildfit 2 years ago, I mean, they were hot as hell. I wanted to lie on the tiles, and now it just comes like a warm feeling and disappears.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
No drugs.
Awesome.
Say no to drugs.
No, you really, really don't need them. The drugs just prolong it, by the way. Prolongs the symptoms. That's exactly what it does. And at some stage, you've got to now then wean yourself off the drugs. So yeah, you stay the course, your body will support you. It's meant to support us. It's not meant to harm us. What actually harms us is the food that we're putting in, either heals or harms. So it's the food that is going to help us get through these phases within our lifetime. Yeah. So you'll be good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Kerry.
Awesome. Cool. I'm going to move to Debs. Debs, how you doing? Yeah, you.
I'm all right, thanks. I'm good. As I said on the group, I've just got a real problem with my tummy. It just doesn't work at all. So I'm not too sure what to do about that. I tried castor oil. I remember the lady talking about castor oil, like 20 milliliters of it, nothing, not a single, nothing. So, but it's not really sore or anything. but there is just no movement, like for 7 days, nothing. So I'm not too sure if I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing. And I've had this nose that just runs. It's not a cold. I'm not sick. There's no sickness. I don't feel sick, but my nose is just pouring with, I don't know what.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm all good.
Cool. So, so definitely we do not want those toxins in our system. And if you haven't gone for 7 days, there's toxins in your system. Big time, big time. I highly recommend reflexology. And if you can't get to do reflexology right now, in the bottom of your foot, right in the middle of your foot, rub that really, really hard. In the middle of your foot, rub that really, really hard. That is your end meridian, which is your energy line that goes through the large intestine and ends in your foot. And you need to stimulate that because the energy is being blocked. Now, that energy line from the large intestine to the bottom of your middle of your foot also runs straight to your nose.
Okay.
So actually, it's not a cold. It's your body is trying to eliminate. It just doesn't know how because there's a blockage in that energy, basically meridian that runs through your body. So huge stimulus in the middle of your foot. Debs, I would take some cream right now and I'd rub both feet. I'd give them a really, really good rub. The other thing is, have you massaged your stomach really, really well? Have you given your
did.
a good
Yes, I
massage?
followed that video that we had the other day where they showed us what to do. I don't actually feel uncomfortable, which is really weird.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
At all, but I just think it's a bit strange when you don't.
No, it's what, we're putting food in that does get absorbed. So that's why you're not feeling so uncomfortable. But we still want the large intestine to do its job and to move those toxins out. So it should not be in there for an extended period of time. Also, what I will post on the group is a breathing exercise for constipation. And every time I've done this breathing exercise, I've literally had to go and sit on the toilet because it works so fast.
Okay.
So I'll definitely post that on the WhatsApp group as well. So breathing exercise, reflexology, massaging the stomach. Do you have a bath or just a shower? You got a bath. So lie in the bath with Epsom salts. Epsom salt bath is also really good because it actually draws the toxins and helps everything move around the system. So just pour, some people pour like 1 spoon of Epsom salts. I'm going, no, pour half the bag in. If you want things to move, Epsom salts is amazing, can't do any harm. So Epsom salts in the bath is really, really good.
And then I had an interesting thing. This was the first time this past weekend where I thought, I could cheat. But my cheat that I wanted to have was a banana. So I thought, well, you know what? We're not going for chocolate cake anymore. At least in the head, we're going, I could have a banana. So that was a pretty positive thing.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. And also, you know what? Our bodies are incredible, by the way. Incredible. When you were on fruit, was your bowel movement more regular?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why your body's asking for the fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's asking for the fruit. That's why, Debs, it might be a good idea that you move out of spring and you do introduce an apple, a banana, kiwi fruit, pawpaw, just early in the morning, and see how that helps your tummy.
So maybe move out for a bit and then back in.
You can. Absolutely, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Also because, this is not your first wild fit. So your body knows what it must do. I truly feel the most important thing you need to focus on is to get your bowels to move. Get those bowels to move. Because if you get the bowels to move, you're getting the toxins out your body. And that's what you want. You want the toxins out your body because you don't want any of that acidity left anywhere in those joints of yours.
Yeah.
So you want it all gone. And so whatever you need to do to get your bowels to move, and then you can slip back into spring if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I think this is the really good thing as well to really think, okay, which season worked best for me? Because we can still heal even in summer. We can still heal even in autumn. And I know people get so like, oh, I don't want to move out of spring. I don't want to move out of spring because spring, my body feels so good and I have my energy and I am releasing weight. But spring can also stop the bells from moving. It does that effect. And people can hit plateaus in springtime. So we need some sort of variety, but not the variety like the chocolate cake. We don't want that variety. If you're going for a banana, I'm going, okay, that's cool. That's absolutely cool. Because your body's asking for something to be able to move what it needs to move. So,
and I think I've also lost a lot of weight quickly. So maybe it's time to just pan out a little bit.
I think definitely. Because I mean, your goal was more healing than weight release.
Yeah.
And you've released a lot.
Yeah. So maybe slip into a little fruit.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cool. Pleasure. Deborah, how are you doing?
Hey, good. I'm definitely in category 3. What's the difference between 2 and 3?
3 is really when you've got more than 10 kilograms to release. And okay. Yeah. And you've got more healing to do. Yeah.
I'm not sore or anything like that, except for my back, which is still getting fixed from cars. But I'm feeling good and I'm happy to stay in spring. It's no problem for me. So I'll be doing that for the next few weeks at least.
Cool. Deborah, you're looking amazing, by the way. I'm thinking back to your first Wild Fit, and your face is looking so much thinner. Like honestly, so much thinner. So, like, are you sure you've still got 10 kilograms to release?
Yes. I mean, as most women have, they have a lot of sizes in their wardrobe, and I know the sizes that the clothes that I'm trying to get into, and I'm not there. So I have got rid of one size and into the next, but there's more sizes to go. So I'm happy to stay in spring.
Okay, awesome. Brilliant. And as long as that is the place that it's working for you, you're releasing, you're feeling good. Yeah. Brilliant. How's your energy levels?
Oh, heaps better than when you think about a couple of months ago when I was Chris and I were talking about doing it, and I said, the time's going to pass anyway, so we might as well start. And it's been really, really good when we think back to where we were in January and we're just sitting around feeling awful, and after all the Christmas food, and I used to I have quite a short night, and then I used to just totally slump in the afternoon, and don't get that anymore. Sometimes I do, but it's probably because I've had a bad night or something. It's not just every day because of the sugar highs and lows, and so definitely more energy.
Awesome. Brilliant. Is your sleep better?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. It's not perfect every night, but there's definitely a long stretch that I didn't used to get.
Yeah. Excellent. Good. So you've got a plan. So does your plan, let's go to Chris. Does your plan match with Chris? Is Chris in spring, or what category are you in, Chris?
I'm pretty close to 1, but nothing in mild spring excites me because I don't like fruit. So I'll probably just stay in spring anyway. I'm feeling really good. I've lost quite a bit of weight, almost to where I want to be. But as I say, spring's easier for me than mild spring because fruit doesn't really excite me. So I'll probably just keep going with spring until the end. I think it's
Awesome. What are some of the non-scale wins that you can feel, Chris?
Lots more energy, better mood. Now that I'm not drinking coffee, I'm in a much better mood. I'm not as anxious and sort of jittery. And body shape too. I've lost a lot of shape. I'm trying not to look at the number because, as you say, it does fluctuate quite a bit. but even in that department, I'm doing well. And just generally feeling good about doing this too. I think psychologically you feel good because you're doing something good for yourself, which is as much the win as the actual physically feeling good, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's really, really so awesome. It's like, hang on a minute, I am doing something really, really beneficial. Every day you are moving in the right direction and not moving towards the slump and feeling, lethargic on the couch. It's like, we actually do have all this good energy. And I'm quite sure with both of you doing this, it's going to rub off on the kids. They're going to see that you're more energetic. They're going to see that you're actually in a better mood. They feel this. They pick up on this. So the fact that you are feeling all of these things, definitely rubs off on the rest of the family. So they're going to go, oh, you know what? Those better moods and those extra energy, it's coming from the good food. Hopefully, their choices just by watching the two of you and feeling into how things are shifting and changing is going to make a difference to them. Yeah. So well done. Cool. Let's move to Dorothy. Dorothy, how are you doing this week? What category are you in and how are you feeling? Oh, you got to unmute. Dorothy. Dorothy, we can't hear you. There you go.
Sorry about that. Just jumped in. I still have weight to release. At least I think so. Other people don't think so, but I look at my body and I know how I'm feeling. And I also know that I still have a lot of healing to do, especially after my experience last week. But Ange, I wanted to say, you talked about clothes being loose. I mean, this used to be tight, really. When I started 4.5 years ago, this was a tight shirt. So yeah, you kind of get a feeling that something has happened. And Deb, I have a thing with spring too, so I try to really watch out for that. And that's why I went into mild spring after the second week and I was taking things in between to help. So that's good. Last week I had an experience with releasing some stuff out of my body, which a lot of people have had, but I hadn't. Dibs with her blisters, etc. But I went to the chiropractor and had her work on my shoulders because I felt like there was a bone that was, while she was working, I just felt this release going through my body. And I'm thinking, whoa, what is that? It was just released. I walked out of there just a little bit lightheaded, and then I got better, went home, iced it, got up in the morning, and it felt like there was an ache that had moved down the middle of my back. So I lay on a couple of ice packs on shoulders and back. 20 minutes, I got up and there was spasming going on my left side. And it was just, I was crying out. I couldn't stop. So I got in touch with the chiropractor and asked, is it okay to put heat on? It did help. It was better. And then by the end, she said, I'm going to get you in here at 5:15. Come in my last appointment. So I almost didn't go because I was better. So then I said, nah, I better. So I got there. And by the time I got there, I could feel it again. So she worked on me again. And she put the pain patches on, the ones that you know about, Carrie. She put some of those on. So then I came home and it was better. It was better. And she said, you can leave these particular ones on. So I did. And then the next night, about the time they'd been on 32 hours, I woke up during the night and there was like this pulsing going on under those patches. And I couldn't sleep. I couldn't get comfortable. And finally, I just clawed them off. And then the pulsing was still there. So then I got into the sauna with heat, and then that helped relieve it. Then the next night I was awakened by this like itching, this. Anyway, the bottom line is, I think there was a heck of a lot of stuff that's been buried that started coming out through that process. So every now and then when it bothers me now, I just put a vibration thing on it and it helps. But it's been an interesting few days with that. I'm not used to being awakened during the night with things like that. So it's been an adventure, but I know that my body is still getting rid of stuff. It's just finding a new way to do it. So that's my adventure for the week.
That's
in
so
addition
cool.
to big clothes, which I love around the house.
That's so cool. But that's exactly when you go to a chiro or an osteopath and they put your spine into alignment. When your spine's in alignment, you're able to do more healing.
Mhm.
So that's exactly, she just did what she was doing, was putting you straight, and that activated, because people don't realize that you could slip and bump something and your spine, the nerves out of your vertebra go out of alignment. You have a car accident, they're definitely out of alignment. If you just get hit by a car and you do this, people don't even go for whiplash, but the neck does go out of alignment. You don't realize, but it can actually happen really, really easy. And the minute that the vertebrae are slightly out, the nerves are slightly out, and those are your messages. And that's what is going to help the healing. So yeah, she obviously just lined everything up for you, and your body went, yes, it's time. I can release more in different ways. Yeah, awesome, Dorothy. But that's obviously, you've just peeled back layers and layers for the last 4.5 years, and more things are showing themselves that could, instead of just lying dormant. Yeah, brilliant. Well done. Thank you. Cool. Let's go to Laura. Laura, how are you doing? And how are you feeling this week? What category are you in? And tell me if there's some non-scale victories.
Yeah, so I'm doing pretty good this week. Category, I'm probably going to stay in category 3. Yeah, this is my second time. So I started WildFit last year in August, and then I did the 3 months, and then I didn't do it for 3 months, and then I came back on. So it's just this good reminder of like consistency and to keep moving forward. So I think I'm going to definitely stay in category 3 and stay in spring. And I'm seeing lots of non-scale victories. I never weigh myself. We don't have a scale in the house, so I don't even know where I started at. But I did do my measurements and my photos. And we were at the ocean with my girls yesterday, and I got my husband to take just some pictures of me and the girls just playing. And then when I looked at them, I'm like, oh, I can see a difference. So yeah, that was super cool. So I could definitely just see different, movements in my shape and stuff like that, right? So the only thing I guess I wanted to ask this week is, I did like quote unquote cheat a bit, but I'm also trying to get away from that like cheat mentality. Because I have been buying really good locally sourced meat. Me and my husband started to invest in that. So like, for example, we had like a nice like sausage, or there was something, they have these really organic hamburgers, and I did have it on a bun because I did like went back and forth in my head, shouldn't I, but like I really wanted a bun. So I did have a bun, and I just wanted to kind of ask you how that affects like being in spring, and am I throwing everything off, or is it like okay to kind of listen to that versus like not have it and then go binge? Because I do struggle with binging. So like something I've always struggled with, and something I'm consciously aware of. So
yeah, cool. So we don't cheat on WildFit, we experiment.
Okay.
That's it. So if you can change that word in your head and go, it's not a cheat, I'm experimenting. I'm experimenting to see, how does my body feel when I have that food? Like, what was your reaction when you ate it? How did your stomach feel half an hour afterwards? And how did you feel the next day?
Yeah, so I tried to be aware of it. I mean, it tasted fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. And then after, definitely the next day, I didn't feel as good. Like I could definitely feel some rumbling, a bit of like more gas, a little more bloating. I didn't feel terrible, but I definitely didn't feel as good as when I was eating cleaner.
And that's exactly what that does. Grains in our system slow everything down. They slow the healing process down, but they slow the digestion down as well. So you're not going to be able to digest and absorb as much nutrients as what you would if there was just clean food going in. So grains just really, I mean, some grains take 36 hours to go through our system. So it really just slows the whole process down. And the more grains you have, the more pressure you put on your gallbladder and liver. So the gallbladder and the liver shoot out bile that help you clean your body. And the more grains you have, the more bile they've got to secrete on a regular basis. So your gallbladder normally gets inflamed if you have more grains. So that's just something, you know, obviously it's just an experiment, it's a once, but in the future, just know what these things do in your body. The other thing I found is, you know, when you have a roll, think about what goes into that. So you've got the wheat, but you've also got the flour. And for me, flour, if you've ever done any baking and you've put flour on a kitchen table with a little bit of water on it, it turns so hard. It's so hard, like you can't even get it off the kitchen table correctly. Well, that's exactly what it does in our gut. Exactly what it does. It turns hard, like that hard. Now your body has to work so hard to get that out. And so this overworking of the large intestine and the gallbladder to try and move this through the system is actually going to slow down the healing process. That's the one thing. Slow down the bowel movements. But it's really, really just going to, you know, the whole movement of trying to get that out. It's overworking those digestive organs. So what happens? You build up your protective layer, that belly fat layer that I was talking about earlier. You just like build up this protection layer because the organs are working so hard to get everything through. And then you're not going to release that belly fat. So that's really, really, you know, if you think about, it's just an experiment. So experiment with it, but feel into the body and feel what it does in the system step by step by step, because that is going to be, you know, when this 90 days is finished and now you're implementing everything into your lifestyle, things have got to work. They've got to work. You've got to work with what works in your lifestyle. Otherwise, you're never going to keep it going. So we've got to find a plan that really works for you. And if you do an experiment once a week and your body feels okay and you allow 36 hours before another experiment happens, then, you know, if that works for you, that works for you. But I just find that some people put grains on top of grains on top of grains. You know, they'll have the toast for breakfast and a sandwich or roll for lunch, and then they'll have pasta for dinner. It's too much. It's just too much. It's overwhelming for our system to be able to digest that amount. So we've just got to be more aware of what we're doing. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's really, you know, what it does in the system and how you can just be aware of, you know, how does it feel in your body?
Okay, yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate that because I think that is the thing too. Like, in seeing people come on, like Dorothy, that's been on this like 4-year journey, right? Like, also giving myself that self-compassion that it's only been like, I don't know, 8-9 months, and just like taking it slow and then, experimenting, seeing the release, and then keeping it with it instead of totally falling off. So
absolutely,
thank you.
Absolutely, so good. And yeah, brilliant that you ask these questions and that you move through what you move through. So absolutely awesome. And Laura, the most important thing that I have found with people that experiment is that you don't carry any guilt around it. So it's like, I experimented, I had fun with my family, that's it, it's done. I'm back in spring. I'm back where I want my body to feel good. I want more healing to be done, because I found the guilty feelings actually cause more acidity in our body. And that also has an impact on how our body digests. So we don't want to hang around and we don't want to feel guilty. It's like, boom, I felt good. It tasted good. I had a good time. I'm done. I want to now shift back and do more healing. So yeah, don't carry any guilt.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And I will. And today I put up boundaries with my 5-year-old to kind of get my somatic yoga in this morning because she's always up. So I did that and I'm back on track, and, you know, just asked her to give mommy 15 minutes to do her movement. And yeah, I'm feeling good and I'll let go of that guilt. Thank you.
Awesome. Brilliant. Thank you, Laura. Gail, how are you feeling this week? How are you doing this week? And have you had any non-scale victories?
Yes. Well, I guess after my liver cleanse bits and pieces, that my bowels weren't really doing their normal thing, and so I went back to my fruit detox smoothies in the morning, and sticking with the veggies and things in the afternoons. So my bowels have gone back to normal, you know, like even better than normal. You know, there's a good volume, for want of a better word, you know, and it just comes out so easily. So I'm really happy that that seems to be functioning again. Yeah, so there's been a lot of stress and things going on, and it's a very big, huge week for me here. And I've had my daughter here as well, and so on top of mum, on top of work stuff. So juggling everything has been quite hard, but I'm not. I was a little bit tired the other day from something that I'd been on that lasted 9 hours online. So I found that very draining. But I feel like I'm coming back into the fore now. So, but yeah, I'm quite happy with where I'm heading. And so, yeah, things are a little bit easier this time round. So, yeah, but like this morning, I accidentally got a work shirt out of the wardrobe because got up quite early for this, obviously. And it was an old work shirt, and I'm going, this is not right. It's so, you know, it was big too, and you know, so then changed back to the new size me that I had ages ago. So yeah, so the body's still, you know, yes, can always be tweaked, but it's in a pretty good space. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So Gail, that old shirt must go.
Yeah.
It must be thrown. It was like, no, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. This is the new me. This is the new me, and this is the way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So when you are, because you know what, life happens, and there's always going to be some sort of stress around at some stage, you know. Have you got ways where you can feel that your body is calm?
Yeah, you know, I've got this terrible twitch in my eye, but I'm more often that it's happening, I will wiggle my jaw to relax my muscles, because with this I am more aware so much of me grinding my teeth and clenching my jaw. So I do, you know, every time I'm in the car, I breathe, because you know I'm thinking about the next thing. Always think, well, what's the next thing up? What have I got to do? What, you know, and it kind of, you know, just winds me up. So I do go into the breathing, and as soon as I do, my eye rests again, and it's not constantly twitching. So yeah, definitely the breath work is helping, and you know, taking deep breaths, and you know, nothing is, just trying to remind myself, nothing's so important that I need to get wound up about. Everything can be done with ease, you know. So all those sorts of head things I bring into the fore, and it does work when I take the time to do it and just have a breath. And it does, you know, it doesn't really matter if something isn't done. It's not the end of the world. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Because it is the most important thing is to allow your body to be as calm as possible, so that you don't tighten everything up. So even though there's stress going on, it's like, I've got this, I can do this. Yeah, awesome. Cool. Thank you, Gail. Helene, how are you doing this week? How are you feeling this week? Have you chosen a certain category to be in?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm in category 2. I still have some weight I would like to release. This is kind of the ongoing journey, and lower my BMI. I am hearing my body's doing well, and I'm feeling really good. But my mind doesn't always listen to my body. So I still have, my cravings aren't as, I don't really have cravings, but I have these clouds in my mind of just like chocolate bars, you know, in the back of my head. Sometimes I'm thinking, and they don't, like, I have it right now, I guess because I'm talking about it. But so I'm working on just, for, you know, if I do eat a chocolate, which isn't like this week, I did have a little bit of 100% chocolate, and I felt guilty for a couple of days. And then I thought, I really have to just let this go. I have to tweak it a little bit and change my attitude toward the guilt, and just not feeling that this shouldn't be what my life revolves around, me wanting to enjoy this chocolate. And this is nothing new. This is kind of, everybody knows, this is kind of my hiccup. And so I'm just working on just more forgiveness this week, and focusing on my non-scale victories, which, you know, I have tons of energy. I'm sleeping really well. My skin looks much healthier than it since I started WildFit again. What are some other non-scale victories that I found here? Yeah, I'm more clear-minded, and just overall just feeling pretty amazing. So I think if I can just keep telling myself all of these non-scale victories, and the fact that yesterday I had my blue jeans on, and I felt really good in them. Like they weren't, you know, they weren't like tight in the crotch or in the belly. They just felt really good all day long. Because usually what happens, I'll put on my jeans, and then like halfway through the day, I'm like, I got to put my sweats on, because it's like, it just gets to be a little bit too uncomfortable. And then I was able to wear them all day. So that's a real, you know, non-scale win for me. So
that's huge, by the way. That is huge.
And I feel, and when I look in the mirror, I mean, I feel really good. I feel like really sexy. I just, so I just have to just focus on all that, and then everything will come into place. This is a journey. This is a life journey. I've been trying just to have a healthy lifestyle for I don't know, maybe 7 years. I've been on this journey, and it's going to be forever. And I just can't knock myself up just because I eat a chocolate, or I'm, you know, dreaming of my chocolate covered almonds. I just got to just like let it go and focus on the good and the journey of it all. So, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, awesome. And Helene, it is a journey. You know, I did WildFit, I think it was 8 years ago. And the awareness that I have around food and my body, that changed forever 8 years ago. And it's still like we're all on a journey to be healthier, and to be, you know, to fine tune and to tweak, and to just work out what fits in with our lifestyle. And that's what, you know, your big thing is the chocolate almonds. It's the chocolate almonds. So you've got to go, okay, if I have that, you know, every now and again, I'm putting more of the good stuff in. I'm putting so much of the good stuff in that your body can handle every now and again, you know. And so you want to be able to work into a lifestyle, but you don't want that to become the norm, because then it's just like, it's too much. So that awareness of, okay, when is it going to be okay for me to, you know, to have these things, and how does my body feel? And then how quickly can I flush the toxins out? I was chatting with a client yesterday about, honestly, the refined sugars seriously are poison in our body. Our body sees it as a poison. Our body does not know how to process refined sugars. It knows how to process natural sugars. It can process natural sugars. Your fruits are absolutely no worries at all. But when there's something with refined sugars, which is the chocolates, which is most grains have got refined sugars in them, you know, all of that type of food, the body goes into a stress state, trying to unpack these chemicals, trying to find out what to do with them. And often they just dump them. They dump them. And we don't actually get them fully out the system. They dump them, and that becomes dumped in fat cells. And it's like, oh, we got to hang on to this. And so we've got to realize that, unfortunately, refined sugar is a poison in our body. It's a poison in our body. And so how often do we want that? How often do we want to strain the organs? How often do we want to flush the toxins out? Because if we've got a rhythm and a routine to do it, if we go, right, I'm going into spring, right, I'm having more alkalizers, I'm doing more water, I'm fasting, whatever it is, it's like, what is my go-to after you've just had a taste pleasure? Because that's all the chocolate is a taste pleasure.
Mhm.
It actually is not good. It doesn't feel that good in the body afterwards. So after I've satisfied the taste buds, what do I need to do? What do I need to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spit it out.
That's what I've done along the journey.
Yeah.
Along in these 8 years, I've put it in and I'm going, oh, I don't want that in my body. I don't want that. So I just spit it out. I just spit it
Yeah.
out. So it's so crazy how, you know, we've got to find different ways. My sister was so funny because when I was, most of you know, I went to South Africa in October for my niece's wedding. My sister and I ended up sharing a room. And so at whatever time it was, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, I jump into bed. And she goes, how do you sleep and you jump into bed and you don't move? You wake up in the morning just like that and you've just slept. So I said, well, that's what my body knows how to do. My body just sleeps. I recover. I recharge. I jump out of bed. What's she doing? She's tossing and turning all night. I'm going, why are you tossing and turning all night? Because she's found these chocolate liqueur cherries, chocolate covered liqueur cherries. And she has one before she goes to bed at night because she's got the box. She goes, I just have one. So she puts this chocolate and then she spits something out. I said, what are you spitting out? She says, oh, I don't like the cherry. I'm going, like, that's the good stuff. You're spitting out the good stuff and you're having the not good stuff. So it blew my mind. But she put it together. She realized, oh, hang on a minute. I am putting this in my system because she's actually really healthy. She's really healthy. She said, I am putting this in my system at the wrong time. It disturbs my sleep. And then she had a comparison of me sleeping dead at night. She goes, oh, so that's what's meant to happen. You know, I'm going, yes, if you don't put those chocolates in your system. So yeah, it does react with us. Refined sugar, you know, hits our moods. It really has an impact on everything. So we've got to be aware and conscious of it. We really do. But Helene, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. So thank you. Julie, are you there to do a check-in with us? I know you've been listening in, Julie. I just want to know if you're there. There we go. Cool. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little disappointed in my weight loss this time, but it's coming down. I mean, it's definitely coming down. It's just not coming down as fast as the first time I went on WildFit. And so, but through non-scale victories, I can definitely see the difference in Jane. His tummy's getting much flatter and not quite as bloated, and so I'm starting to feel more like me, you know, a little bit more energy. I'm always wanting more, but yesterday it was beautiful here. It was 14 above, and yeah, it was gorgeous. So I actually went out for a walk. So it was good. Still working hard, pretty high stress around here, but
yeah, and that was one thing I wanted to say to you, Julie, because you are in an incredibly stressful job and you are always using your mental power. Your brain is so switched on and you are constantly. So the energy, believe it or not, the energy to use this brain often is the same as the energy that construction workers need to actually work on a building site. So don't underestimate how much power we need from this brain. And often what happens is we're not putting enough energy in, we're not putting enough fuel in order to exert this brain of ours. So Julie, are you eating enough?
you know what? I think I am. I think I'm doing fine. I have the Alka-Geyser in the morning and, you know, a salad with, you know, some type of meat on top for lunch. And then supper is usually a little bit larger. But we've been sticking pretty close this point. And I
Yeah.
haven't been putting in
'Cause-
the squash or anything. But I
Yeah.
was thinking more.
Yeah, awesome. I know Ellie dropped off the call, but she was saying earlier she does 2 liters of Alka-Geyser a day, and that's what's made such a difference to her this time around was the additional Alka-Geyser. And why I'm asking if you're eating enough is because you are exerting a lot of energy from the job that you're doing. And a lot of people that are not releasing enough weight, I find sometimes their bodies are not feeling safe because there's not enough food going in. And so their bodies are storing. They're storing. So this is the fine line we've got to find out for ourselves is, am I eating too much? You know, am I filling my plate? Even if it's the good stuff, we could be eating too much. Or am I doing too much that I'm not eating enough to satisfy my body to feel safe? So that's what I just want to say to you is feel into your body, because you should not feel hungry. If you feel hungry, you're not having enough, and your body needs enough to feel safe. So yeah, really feel into that. You don't want your body to go into storage mode, which often happens because you're working so much that you don't even feel hungry. So you might be skipping a few meals or skipping a snack, but for you, it might be a really good idea to up those Alka-Geysers, have an additional one as an afternoon snack to give you your energy to continue through to dinner time.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll try that for sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, thank you, everybody. You're doing absolutely amazing. Yes, Debbie, you want to add something?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to tell you something very quickly. I know the call is about to end. My therapist, I heard some people talking about anxiety. My therapist gave me the most unusual exercise to do, but I cannot tell you how it helps me. So she said to me, when you're feeling really, really anxious, you lie on the bed with your head hanging off. Okay? Stretch your arms back and lie there. So I suppose the blood is going to your thing, but you literally cannot breathe like that shallow, anxious breathing when you are lying like that. It feels quite uncomfortable for a bit, but it really, really helps, because once you sit up again, your anxiety levels have gone down. And if you aren't obviously not on a bed and you're somewhere, if you put your arms on a door jamb, either side of the door jamb, and you push your body forward, it's the same thing. It stretches all of this and it relaxes everything going down here. It really does work. So if you are feeling anxious.
Devs, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. Anxious or stressed. If you're just even feeling stressed, do that, because that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Cool.
Pleasure.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Go for it, go for it. We're not in this challenge very long. The weeks are flying by. So make the most of it. Make the most of it. We see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.